You know that moment when you unwrap a new bit of tech and straight away you get that buzz of curiosity. That's exactly how I felt with this one. It's small, it's compact, and it certainly looks interesting. There's something kind of fascinating about how far these little portable engravers have actually come. A few years ago, you'd need this big, heavy machine just to etch a design into wood or leather. Now, you've got these compact versions you can literally stick anywhere. This is the Longer Nano Pro 12-watt portable laser engraver. Over the past couple of weeks, I've had the chance to put the Nano Pro through its paces on a variety of projects. Engraving coasters, marking metal, cutting wood, and even trying out a design on a travel mug. What struck me most is how versatile and capable it feels for such a compact unit. Being so portable really makes it feel beginner friendly. You don't need a whole workshop or tons of setup, you can just put it down and get going. It's not like it's just a toy either, it's a proper tool that gives results you can actually show off. But it doesn't come cheap. So I guess the burning question is this product truly worth that asking price? Well, let's first start by unboxing it. So unboxing this little unit, and depending on what package you go for will depend on how much you actually get in the box. I actually went with the Max set, which comes with a rotary and slide extension, and thankfully on the website you can choose what you want it to come with. There is a few options to choose from, but if you were just to go with the unit itself, honestly there's really not much to it, and the setup is dead simple. I will say everything's been packed neatly in foam, laid out in a way that makes it clear what's what, and it feels like it's been put together with a bit of care. Certainly feels like a premium unboxing experience. Now, I won't go into detail in regards to setting up both the rotary and slide extension tool, as to be honest, it's pretty much a tedious Lego experience. However, I do want to emphasize that the setup for the unit itself is dead simple. The instructions are very clear, and you get a nice little toolbox that has all the screws and tools clearly labelled. All we need to do is attach the base plate to the stem with 4 screws to start with. This is honestly pretty easy. Once this is done, we can go ahead and attach the main laser head to the lifting bracket. There's actually a pre-installed screw for this. Now, we can just attach the magnetic protective cover under the laser head, and this just simply magnetizes on. Now for the final step, simply wiring up. Thankfully, Longer have made this dead simple with a color-coded layout where we just simply match all the cables to their corresponding spots. And that's it. Honestly, for an engraver, I will say this has been the easiest of setups I've seen. Certainly living up to its beginner-friendly selling point so far. Now, the Nano Pro weighs just over 1.2 kilos, and there is a reason for that. It's made to be able to be used both handheld and with the base stand, so there's some flexibility in how you can actually engrave. I will say the frame feels solid enough to take regular use, and it doesn't give off that plasticky vibe you sometimes get with cheaper machines. This does feel very well built. Just being able to pop the head off and take it over to something like a piece of furniture is honestly a massive selling point. Certainly something a lot of engravers on the market don't have. I held it steady and managed to engrave a clean little logo right onto the surface. It's not something I'd be doing every day obviously, but the fact that it actually works gives it a kind of versatility you don't usually get with other machines this small. Now, that red cover around the laser definitely helps on the safety side, but it does have its quirks. If you're outside in direct sunlight, it can actually make the laser alignment harder to see. I did find myself lifting it up a few times just to double check I was lined up properly, and by doing that you will obviously misalign everything. Not the end of the world, but worth mentioning. You are going to need to keep this very steady. Now, software setup is where the Nano Pro really impresses. You can either use Lightburn or Laser GRBL, so it is widely universal in compatibility. Longer also offers their own laser burn app for phones, and to be honest, for on-the-go usage like Handheld, this is going to be the go-to. Within the app, you can add text, images, and even AI-generated options. And then in here, we are going to be able to simply place our image or text and then set the size and information. Then we can just simply wirelessly send it over to begin the engraving process. Now, like I said, when using this handheld or as a whole really, this is by far the easiest option. It's just so simple. Now, I will say the Nano Pro is quick. They claim up to 5,000 millimeters per second. And while I didn't measure it, I could certainly see the difference compared to other engravers I've actually owned. That same logo job was almost finished in about half the time. Precision is also where it shines. The engraver is capable of 0.0 millimeters resolution, and the results back that up. I ran a 100mm test graphic with fine detail, and the edges came out sharp with no wobble or blur. Even small text was legible and neat, which makes it useful for things like branding products or adding intricate designs. And that naturally led me on to testing it across different materials to see how versatile it really was. I kept my testing focused on a few common materials to see how well it handled them in real-world use. Now, as mentioned, there is an optional set of extensions that can be purchased to be used with this unit. Both the rotary and extension tool, and both just allow you to expand the capabilities of this unit. With the rotary extension, it allows the Nano Pro to actually effortlessly engrave on curved surfaces. I first started by engraving on a travel mug, as this is likely what most people will get this extension for. To be honest, this was the test I was most skeptical about. But it wrapped the design around perfectly without losing alignment. It certainly showed me that the Nano Pro isn't just for flat surfaces. It's versatile enough for bottles, mugs, and curved items too. Obviously, this is an additional purchase, but to be honest, it's likely to pay for itself in the long run. It will work on a variety of curved surfaces as long as it fits in the rotary tool. Now, equipped with the optional slide extension tool, you'll be able to take the longer Nano Pro's engraving bed from 100 by 100 millimeters to 100 by 300 millimeters, just offering you up some flexibility for larger projects. Certainly for things like wooden chopping boards, this will come in very handy. It's worth mentioning before I forget, to focus the longer Nano Pro, you just press the touch button on the top of the laser head to activate the two red focus dots. Then just simply use the up and down arrows on the front of the laser to raise or lower the head until the red dots merge into a single sharp red dot. You can even preview the engraving area on the machine to ensure the material is in the right location. This will shine down a clear framing to give you an idea of where the design will be engraved. Once again, very beginner friendly. Now, I will say wood engraving is obviously a very strong selling point for engravers, and this is no exception. It comes out crisp, dark, and sharp enough to look like a shop-bought product. It's the kind of results I'd happily gift or even sell, which gave me confidence that this wasn't just a hobby machine. Now, you can cut with the 12-watt laser on this, and Longer says it can handle up to 10mm of wood. I did try it on 6mm of plywood, and after a couple of passes, it did cut through cleanly, and the pieces slotted together without sanding, which was a good sign of accuracy. Obviously, this is more of an engraving machine, but it can handle up to 10mm of wood cutting if it is required. So after living with the Longer Nano Pro 12-watt for a couple of weeks now, I can honestly say it's one of those gadgets that keeps surprising me. I thought I'd test it, maybe just a few engravings, and then I tuck it away on a shelf. But what actually happened is I found myself reaching for it time and time again because of just how easy and fun it was to use. It's quick, it's precise, and it opens up loads of creative possibilities without needing massive setups or dedicated workshop space. Sure, the work area is smaller than a big desktop engraver, engraver, and you have to be mindful of what materials it can and can't do, but those trade-offs feel completely fair once you've seen how portable and flexible it really is. And I really do believe that's the charm of the Nano Pro. It doesn't just make laser engraving possible, it makes it accessible and enjoyable. If you're a hobbyist, a small business owner, or just someone who loves trying out creative projects, this little machine is absolutely worth a look. Be sure to check this product out in the link in the description. Let me know what you think. Till next time.